The Muni in Forest Park.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Isaacson. I'm the executive producer. Nice wave. Thank you. And we are here at the I'm going to just read it because it's been a long day. PNC Arts Alive Artist Corner, which is fabulous. PNC Bank gave us a lovely grant that we're grateful for that allows us to have these talks with some of our Muni artists. So this is going to be you're here on a good night. This is Kevin Stites, who is the musical director for Les Miserables. So what we're going to talk about tonight is what a musical director does, Kevin's career, and the relationship between what you experience in terms of the total world of the performance and how Kevin is responsible for that. So let's start with Kevin. Why don't you just walk us through the fundamentals of what a music director for a production does?
Well, music director is involved immediately with auditions and is at the auditions process and works out with the director and the producer and the choreographer and chooses a cast. You usually have to be very, very careful. It's always a lot of negotiating because you need to make sure that you have strong singers that can act, that can dance, depending on the musical you're doing. And then you prepare a score for this particular production of Les Mis. Because the rehearsal period at the Muni is short, because of the rotating shows here, it's sort of miraculous what they do here and how they do it. I edited a complete version and marked all the cutoffs and breaths and everything and pre-assigned all the vocal parts, and they sent these out to the kids so they could come day one of rehearsal with the music somewhat learned. And then the next part of the job is to teach the score. So all the soloists have to learn what they have to sing. The ensemble has to learn what they have to sing. If you're not in a summer stock situation or a quick process like this, you have to also worry about understudies and teaching the understudies. Then the next step is to train the orchestra. And you train the orchestra, and then on a magical day that we call a Sitzprobe, German Sitzenprobe, to sit and work, we sing through the show with the orchestra. And then you put everything together, sort of like in a big pot with the scenery and everything, and stir it. And you conduct. Most musical directors actually conduct the show. And so for Les Mis, I'll be here all 7 nights if there's no rain. I think we're having no rain. No rain. So that's pretty much what we do. And then also upkeep. Part of our job is to, every night this week I've gone around and given some notes because the process is quick and there's a lot of bodies on this stage. I don't know, are you all seeing the show tonight? Yeah, they're all here for tonight. That's exciting. I think you'll be very, very excited. But there's a lot of bodies on that stage. So there's a lot of things to keep track of. So it's upkeep, too. If this was a Broadway show, you'd sit out once a week and watch it and take notes and give the cast notes and orchestra notes. So that's pretty much it.
So one of the things, a musical director works very closely with the choreographer and the director. And what was interesting about this production, our extraordinary director, Richard J. Alexander, and Kevin have worked before. They've worked before together on Les Mis, and it was fascinating because they came together knowing exactly what they wanted in a very precise manner in terms of when you were talking about the casting. You actually weren't there.
I wasn't here. There was a schedule snafu.
Which was a huge leap of faith for him in our director. And I sort of know the structure of the show, but Richard knew exactly what he wanted. So he kept saying all during the auditions, I've got to make sure Kevin's taken care of. I've got to make sure. So you're looking for a guy who's in his mid-40s, who has a beard, who's a baritone. You're going for that precise. And what I'd like, that's a long lead in to talk about your partnership with the director in general and that relationships and what you and Richard did on Les Mis for this production.
Well, with Richard J. Alexander specifically, I've known him for over 25 years because I've been involved with Les Mis since the first national tour, which was about 25 years ago. And Richard was the associate director. And when all the companies would go out, he would usually put the companies together. We put a company together in Toronto. And I've done also some symphonic jobs with him because he directs for concert artists. So our relationship is that of shorthand. It comes down to shorthand. He'll just say, "Can you?" And I'll go, "Yeah." And that's pretty much how this process was. And he is wonderful at respecting the voice. When you hear the show tonight, hopefully you'll realize the vocal demands of this show are extraordinary. Every show, the vocal demands are extraordinary. But this one, you can't have sort of a weak link. It's all sung, it's through composed. There are 5 spoken words in the entire thing. So you really, really have to cast the right people, and he did. He did.